and welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rollison, also known as T-Roll. And tonight I am joined by my very good friends. First of all, we have Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy. We also have Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato. And boys, we have a very special guest with us on the podcast tonight. A friend of Justin's.
Hey.
Said we got to get this guy on for Superman. Welcome, everybody. JR. JR, how you doing, bro?
I'm fantastic. Glad to be here.
Yeah?
Pumped.
This is your first ever podcast?
First ever.
Okay.
Ooh,
So nervous.
he's a newbie.
Yeah.
I love it. Fresh meat.
Let's the jitters.
I'm so nervous.
He'll loosen up as the night goes on. JR, why don't we start with you since you are our special guest? Again, Justin said, "Hey, we got this guy." So little background, JR came to the movie with us last night to watch Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, got this guy buddy of mine who we need to get on the podcast for the Superman movie. Give us a little bit of background of why Justin would say something like that about you and just more of your geek nerd background and everything.
Well, I think when we met years and years ago,
Yeah, it was a while now.
one of the first things, I think maybe one of us was wearing a Superman shirt, maybe, and immediately we started talking about Superman. He's always been my favorite superhero. I've always been into DC's specifically.
Yeah.
Like Marvel, of course, over the years has have a better cinematic performance for live action, I would say, obviously. But yeah, I just absolutely always loved DC. Superman especially. Just I can remember, like, I wasn't a huge comic guy, but I would obviously read comics and stuff, but I wasn't like super like a collector or anything like that. But watch the animated series.
There you go. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's kind of like, I was so into Smallville. I was so excited when Smallville came out. I still remember I was like 7th grade, 2001. So pumped. Watched it all the way to completion. Just
A lot of people dropped off of that, which is
Yes.
crazy. But I'm glad. Yeah, I loved that too, man. It was
You know what's the
so good.
craziest part of that story?
What's
Is
that?
the fact that Justin continued to hang out with you after you admitted the fact that Superman's your favorite,
Listen,
superhero.
I love DC though, man. So you gotta.
you
gotta
do, but you have a.
Listen, he's come around.
Thank
I told you
Shamato.
guys.
I was
I
making
to-
this
but
point at
listen.
dinner last night,
Uh-huh.
and I was trying to tell, I don't know if it was you or someone about
Yeah, you're telling JR. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Justin doesn't like Superman.
I've told you guys that I've come around to him with Henry Cavill and all that kind of stuff. It was like there's previous iterations in between Tom Welling and.
You saying you had a Henry Cavill awakening?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but yeah,
everybody has.
I told you guys last night at the theaters. Henry Cavill is definitely a hall pass candidate. So
I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to talk about what's this guy's name?
David Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat.
Yes.
Corn Sweat. Yeah, boys, we are here to talk about Superman, the first movie, right, in DC's new DC Studios, whatever. What's the universe called?
DCU.
DCU.
Yeah.
'Cause the other one was the DCEU.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Sadly, unfortunately.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Thank goodness. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to not pick on that universe on this pod.
There's no reason to. Why would you?
Well, because of who I am. But I've done plenty of that over the last 5 years. So,
Which
it's a
JR, you
new
are
age.
coming into the biggest DC hater I've ever met.
Oh no,
T-roll.
I'm pretty up there. Yeah,
It's okay. I
but
get it.
but
Considering his first real big movie was Batman, so
but here's the thing that you're not gonna like even more.
Oh no.
Like, I'm one of those haters also who doesn't know anything. So as
He just
this
hates to hate.
love it.
yeah,
I
so
love
as
it.
this review goes on, I'm gonna be like, so what was that girl's name that was flying? Who's that guy with that green thing coming out of his ring?
No,
Yeah.
no, you know.
I know that one.
Yeah.
All right. Spoiler alert. Actually, well, first of all, shout out to all of our listeners, everyone who's tuned in. Thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast and enjoying this review of Superman. Well, I hope you enjoy the review, actually. Just want to remind you to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen and to also follow us on social media at Royal Geek Pod. And if you got any thoughts, send us an email, royalgeekpodcast@gmail.com. So here's a spoiler warning. If you're listening, you haven't watched the new Superman movie, I can say, as the DC hater, it is worth pausing this podcast to go watch it because, boys, it was a great movie.
dang, dude, you've never said
Was.
that. I think one time ever in this podcast history
Yeah,
to go watch it and then
No, I
come
did.
back.
I did on Black Beetle.
Stop.
I thought that was a good movie.
Blue Beetle, you know it.
Blue Beetle.
That's his. Yeah, he actually thought it was Black Beetle.
Well,
Yeah.
in fairness, for like the first 5 times I probably said that it was genuine, that I actually thought it was Black Beetle. It's okay. No, seriously, what a movie.
For real, dude. It definitely. Okay, so here's the thing. I was talking to JR last night at dinner, and I said it kind of felt like Christmas Eve. Like you went to bed and you woke up and you're like, I really flipped out of bed yesterday morning, and I was like, all right, we're gonna see Superman today. Let's go.
Yeah,
Like,
fastest day at work
yeah,
ever.
it really did. It went by super fast, actually, because I was too busy trying to get my mind right on DC content. So I watched a few episodes of Superman the Animated Series to get my juices flowing. So I was very, very pumped going into it. But then as soon as I got off of work, I started to have one of those nervous breakdowns of like, oh no, what if DC lets me down again? What if and then all of that hate and all the turmoil that I faced during the entire DCEU, it all came rushing in, and I was so nervous until the movie actually started.
It's funny.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really good. As what happens with a lot of movies, I usually watch them earlier than everyone else. Just because I usually go to an early showing, and you guys go to much later showings. So like as soon as I was off of work, it was like go home, picked up the wife, drove straight to the mall, and we essentially went to like a 5
locked
p.m.
and ready to roll, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
exactly.
That's how I do all of
Were
them.
you like, hey, honey, you better be ready to go by the time I get there? Like,
Oh, she was waiting in the hammock
Now,
out front.
beautiful.
Now, did you guys eat some mall food court food before the movie?
We actually did. Yes.
Ooh,
we-
special. That's how you know it's special.
What'd you go with?
I went with what used to be Mandarin Express. Yes.
Okay.
Solid.
Dude, that Mongolian chicken,
Yeah,
like
man.
that's top
Man,
tier.
That's how you know you're gonna get a good movie too. Start with some Mongolian chicken.
What about you, JR, before the movie? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I honestly, I have also been hurt by DC. So I,
Any true fan?
This is a rehab podcast right here.
yeah, I feel like I could cry, honestly. It's funny we're talking, and we'll probably get into it, I'm sure. But within the first 3 minutes, I was like, okay, thank God, it's gonna be good. I just knew it. Like,
Yeah.
It's settled.
just the tone right away. It's like I like I love James Gunn's storytelling. But yeah, so yeah, Joss Whedon's whole Justice League mishap and all. Oh gosh,
Dang.
I was not ready for something like that again. So I was trying to keep my expectations in the middle, but secretly I was jazzed all day.
Nice.
Pumped.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think one of the biggest positives that we've seen here is it definitely seemed like they were trying to put in more groundwork for this entire universe rather than what they did with the DCEU.
Right. They
Like,
rushed it.
like the DCEU, and we brought this up multiple times before, but it was like it was trying to start like 5 movies into a franchise,
That's true,
essentially.
very true.
Yes.
Whereas this one, especially because I know we were all a little like maybe disheartened when we first heard about the DCU happening because we were like 2 years for the first movie to come out, which is kind of crazy to think that it was.
We're here now, though.
Yeah, we're
it's
here.
crazy.
But like we were like, wow, 2 years. That's so far away.
Yeah.
Like why? But then you really think about it, and it's like it is probably the right thing to do
Yeah.
to just like to actually plan something out. Who would have thought that putting thought in planning something out would actually pay off?
Yeah. What about you, T-Roll? Is it just normal Thursday for you?
Look, we went to a movie theater. We watched a movie. No big
That's
deal.
it. And done.
No, man, I was excited. I think because you guys see, I've kind of watched the DC mishaps, and I've been like the guy who like can't get his eyes off like a car crash,
Oh gosh.
like not minding what I've been watching because it's like kind of funny to
Yeah.
watch you guys squirm, So I didn't have like the pressure. The one thing I was thinking, I was like, because I'm such a like Marvel truther, you might say, I was like, dude, James Gunn's got this. There's no reason to
Hey,
fear.
look at
Oh,
that.
good
I like
point.
that.
Good
I
point.
was very confident,
Look at
like
that,
it's
dude.
gonna be
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for you might have been if it was just was middle of the road because you would feel like you would have to push it down so hard.
Yeah.
At least if it was bad and everyone knew it was bad,
And it's easy.
that's easy.
Right.
If it's amazing and it's amazing, then that's relatively easy for you to be like, yeah, I can
Right.
admit that. But if it was just like middle of the road, then you're kind of at that point to where like now I got to do my brand.
That's right. Got to commit to the bit. No, and it's funny because you're mentioning Jr. that within the first 3 minutes, we're locked and loaded. And honestly, it's funny you use the number 3 because right from the jump,
Oh yeah,
James
you're
Gunn,
right. Yep.
he does the was it 3
Centuries.
3 centuries ago?
Yeah.
There you go. 3 centuries ago, 3 decades ago.
Yep.
It's cool how he did
Years
that.
ago, 3
Weeks.
weeks
Yeah,
ago,
months,
3
weeks,
minutes ago.
yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. I don't remember what they all were, but this is something I said driving in with you, Justin. I was like, I just hope that they give us similar to the way that all Batman and Spider-Man movies have been done in the last 5 to 10 years. Everyone knows the backstory. They just get to the point. Right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
dude, we got that. I mean, even later on, him and Lois are already together. It's like, thank God.
Yeah.
We don't have to see him try to apply
Will they, won't
on the
they?
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We didn't
exhausting.
see one baby swaddled in a red blanket.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
So true.
So love that. And literally, so we'll start there if
Yeah.
you guys are good with it. Right from the jump, Superman's already getting beat up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He's already been beat up.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
honestly, when he comes in, he's already lost.
Correct. Yeah, and I found it very interesting that we're coming into a movie about obviously Superman and his godlike abilities, and he's already at his lowest. We're already seeing him vulnerable, beat up, bloody. We're like, okay, well, this Man of Steel, which we've seen in Henry Cavill's 2013, right? This Man of Steel is now very fragile and everything, right? Which is a knock because of this godlike being is taking a beating all the time, right?
Yeah.
But actually, it made him way more relatable, way more
True.
from the jump. You were getting in the zone with him, and you kind of could settle in with him, and you're like, okay, we're on this journey together. He's one of us. Let's see where he goes from here. So I don't know. I kind of like that off the jump.
I think it was good because it does kind of set up this state of the hardest part about the Superman character is he has this unattainable relatability that is just he is perfect in honestly he's perfect in both forms, whether he's Superman or whether he's Clark Kent. He's essentially a perfect being.
Yeah.
So seeing him, I think what made it relatable, especially at the beginning, is that what's relatable is everyone has the relatability of losing, of being, of being beaten, and so I think that's really, it's important to put that on a character who's so hard and deals so much with relatability overall that making it gives him immediate relatability.
That's right. And James Gunn thinks of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good with all these little details,
The little moments.
moments,
For
right?
sure.
So, so back real quick. Overall, again, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I will admit, it's so funny because I told the wife coming home from the movie, I was like, I just praised them for just getting right to the point, not doing all this backstory. But then there's parts where I'm like, how the heck does Lex Luthor already just know how to do all this stuff? There are also moments where I was like,
Slow down.
all right, I could have used maybe a little more, just
Yeah.
me, but maybe I'm not maybe the main audience, right? So,
Right.
but yeah, guys, I'm fired up.
Yeah, man.
Let's you guys just want to go chronological here? What do we think? Or do you want highs, lows? What are you thinking, Justin?
Why don't we do good, bad, things we liked, we didn't like, that kind of thing.
Let's go positive first. It was a good movie.
Yeah, let's go positive. JR, positives. What do you think?
Oh man. So there's so many, and I'm still freaking out about this movie. Honestly, I've been thinking about it all day because, as a Superman guy specifically, when Man of Steel came out in 2013, I was so pumped. I mean, I remember I knew it was coming out years before. Google searching this guy Henry Cavill. Oh, he played in Immortals.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Zack Snyder. He did 300. I was pumped. And when I watched it, I remember the action was so great. It really was.
It was, yeah.
That he nailed the action. But the utter destruction, and to be honest, especially after seeing the Superman now and thinking about the older Supermans in this animated series, Superman's character,
Yeah.
he's somebody that cares about everybody. And collateral damage is something that, Zack Snyder's Superman did not care very much
No,
about.
dude.
Not at all.
Facts.
So
They had a moment where David
Yeah.
Cornslet was talking to Green Lantern. He's like, "Dude, like chill. Like you're
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
You're doing too much."
yes,
Like, how many buildings did he catch in this movie? You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and
Exactly.
I loved. Honestly, I loved it, and I think that was James Gunn's way of saying, "Hey, right from the start, this is something different. This is your Superman."
Yeah.
And I didn't know about David Cornsweet. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but after this, I told my wife on the way home. I was like, "That's Superman." I was like, "He's got my vote." I mean,
He's got my vote.
Henry Cavill will always have a special place in my heart for what he did, and it's not Henry. I don't think it's Henry Cavill's fault the way it all shook out.
No, it's not. It's not.
But this guy, his character, like he was Superman. Like he's funny. He's corny,
Charming.
charming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like funny.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. No, that's really, I love that. dude.
I did really like how they played into the like country boy charm. Like I feel like that was something that they did more than honestly I think any other Superman has. Essentially once he gets maybe they do it a little bit when
Smallville was close.
Smallville was close,
Yeah.
but once he gets to Metropolis in Smallville, they drop it.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
true.
the same thing. Like, I feel like in every universe, as soon as he gets to Metropolis, he's just he's people act like he's some sort of country bumpkin, but he doesn't really follow a lot of. He doesn't sound like it. Like like he literally says like "aw shucks" in the
Yes.
beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
and it's like I was like.
He's oh hey. That's what he said.
He's
Like he's like instead
yeah.
of like
Oh, hey.
Yeah. He's like yeah. God,
He
golly.
says "good gosh"
Yeah.
at
Love
one
it.
point.
Love
It
it.
is. I
Yeah.
just I love the It's very like digging into that midwestern, country boy type of thing that is him. Like it is,
Through and
so
through,
much-
yeah.
yeah, it is, the most real part of him. Essentially when it comes to personality, like a lot of the stuff that he puts up in Metropolis is kind of like an act in a lot of ways, but like the country boy stuff is really like his core.
Absolutely.
Other things we loved. Other things we loved.
I mean, personally, I think the supporting cast was very, very, very
Yeah.
strong. For example, Lois Lane, dude, Rachel Brosnahan killed that role, dude.
Yeah,
she was
she did.
phenomenal.
She did.
She was not the annoying Lois that we've gotten before. Like we've gotten some really, really like
She
in your face, obnoxious, like reporter style,
Oh
like
my gosh,
Lois.
yeah.
But like, dude, I can't envision Lois without seeing Rachel Brosnahan now. Like it was such a breath of fresh air because she was supportive, but yet in a way, like she had this command about her where
Yeah.
you took her 100% seriously.
She did push
yeah.
him like
yeah,
in
for
ways
sure.
too. So there was very much that, and I think part of it was also just the fact that like because of the fact that she didn't go, that we didn't get like the game that is the Superman Lois relationship.
Correct.
In the previous parts where like she has to be kind of hard in some ways, or like she has to be super like directly reporter Lois, because of the fact that we're also saying this girl is so dumb she doesn't know the difference between a man wearing glasses and not wearing glasses.
Right,
So,
right.
Which I also love. We got the explanation there of
Yes.
like the hypno glasses.
Yeah,
how they
hypno
distort.
glasses.
They distort.
So is that a real thing in the
It
comics?
actually is.
Okay,
There is a run
okay.
in the comics
I
where
wasn't sure if that was like a conspiracy theory.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I did, because of that, it freed her up to be more like naturally like her a real person rather than well, because there is that thing you kind of got to overcompensate when you're like also you're like, yes, she doesn't know, but she also like is supposed to be this amazing reporter.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be like the best investigative
Right.
reporter on the planet.
Investigative, yeah. That's
Yes,
the
not
funny
even
part.
like not just a reporter, but investigative reporter.
Right.
Wow,
Yes.
good point.
But I loved, and I've always loved him, but like Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, I've always loved Nathan Fillion, but like him as Guy Gardner was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like he was so good. He was so like matter of fact, and he was just like this kind of like he was this bro-y kind of guy in a lot of ways. And like I love the scene where he when he's in Jorimpur at the battlefield, and he's knocking all over the tanks, and there's middle fingers going
Everywhere.
up.
Yeah, so
Everywhere.
good.
It's phenomenal.
It is.
Now-
And you get to see a lot of like inventive play with the Green Lantern abilities, which I've really loved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Now, again, me showing my true cards here. Green Lantern, like there's many of them. There's like a whole, right. There's a whole.
The core.
Yeah,
Or-
honestly, at best, he's like the third most well-known, probably fourth. Honestly,
So does that mean like
Fourth.
of,
He's
of the main run ones, not like the ones that are not like on Earth ones.
does that mean
Right.
like we know like something's got to happen to this guy because we're gonna get the real one later on? Is it kind of one of those
well,
things?
I'm actually interested to see how they do this because we already know the show is
Mm-hmm.
just wrapped. The Lantern show on Max.
There's a show.
Yeah,
Yes.
just wrapped.
Ooh,
And it's
oh,
got
yeah.
obviously Hal Jordan is the main person who we all recognize as Green Lantern, but then
Yes.
John Stewart is the next man up, and he's also in the show. So
And there's the fact that they introduced Hawk Girl in this movie as well, which is a possibility.
a
Because,
romance between
Yes, there's a romance
yeah.
between John Stewart and Hawk Girl.
Yeah, correct. So like it's interesting to me because do they all have rings, or are they passing it on, or like what's going on
Well,
here?
is it gonna be
Yeah.
multiple universes,
Yeah,
like that type
right.
of thing?
But that's like a whole other podcast.
Yes,
like, we can go
yeah,
down that
like
rabbit
there's
hole.
all kind of crazy
Fair
stuff.
enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. I was just
Yeah.
curious. I was just curious. 'Cause I was like,
Mhm.
Green Lantern's like a big character,
Oh yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
but just to be
Absolutely.
like kind of mentioned here, I was like, I'm just gonna not try to figure it out and just enjoy the movie.
I mean,
That's
Yeah.
what
I wouldn't be surprised if like Nathan Fillion is just kind of like dipped his toes in Green Lantern, honestly, just because of his age, he's a little bit on the older side, and the fact that it might have just been like James Gunn was like, hey. You want to come do this?
they're friends
because
yeah.
they're friends,
Right.
and they've like he's been in a bunch of their bunch of the projects, and he's essentially like superhero nerd royalty.
Yeah,
he's nerd
for sure.
royalty, 100%.
Absolutely.
easily.
Yeah. Okay. I hope this is on everyone's positive side, but for me, I mean, I loved Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good.
It was amazing.
Absolutely. JR, what about Lex for you, man?
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
I did like him,
Uh-oh,
but I do have some things. I really do think he killed it. Nicholas Holt did a fantastic job. My thing is, and I've always the Superman specifically from the comics and the animated series is who I'm thinking of. The Lex Luthor, and this is such a small qualm because I still think he killed it in
Yeah.
many respects, but he's kind of physically a threat. I would say more than Nicholas Holt is. He's eye to eye with Superman, which I think he was in this movie. But he's,
yeah.
he's like Lex Luthor can hold his own. I didn't feel that from him, and that's not a problem. I mean, because even if he's the strongest man on Earth, as a human, he's not going to even come close to Superman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he could build one of his suits. Like this could be
Yes.
just round one.
I think that's
Like,
where we're
you
going.
know.
I hope. Yeah.
Dude, the monologue at the end, man, with
it was great.
comparing to Galileo and like,
Yes.
dude, I
That was fantastic. yes.
floored, man. Like, I was like, okay, did we just see like a top 5 villain portrayal of all time? Like, this was like up there.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's why I said it was a small qualm because overall I did love him, and you could tell like where his motivations came from. He is obviously psychotic,
Oh, for sure.
but he's a genius.
Yes.
Just unbridled power.
Yeah.
What that looks like.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's envy. Like it's just like for him, it's just he can't like think of anyone pulling the spotlight from him. Like and then on top of that, there's also this like idea of like he's this kind of golden boy of his own company and all this kind of stuff. And like I think he kind of wanted to be that like prodigy of his time, that like quintessential figure, like the person that everybody points at in his time. And he, in his mind, I think he kind of thinks he had it stolen from him.
Correct.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was gonna
Like-
say he
like-
should have been because
Yes.
of the
That's a solid
innovations that he
point.
was
Yes.
doing within the industry. That he was
Yes.
just like completely paving the way with a whole bunch of new stuff, and then Superman just happened to
then
be there.
Just strolls in, this country boy.
Yep. That's
You
so
know,
true.
Like this, like and like how much he had to how much he had to struggle to get where he was, Lex Luthor wise, and he feels like he just shows up one day and then just is top dog.
Right. So that would be. I'm still extremely positive on Lex and Holt's performance, but that would be a little bit. Maybe one critical thing is because the movie was only. You said it was 2
It
hours.
was like it was like
2 hours 9 minutes, I think.
2 hours
Yeah.
and 9.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like okay, one. This is a big movie. I mean, this is
We
Superman.
could have
here.
gotten 20 more minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
I
come
think
on.
so. And
Yeah.
even to get maybe. I'm glad we didn't get a lot of backstory for Superman. Thank God.
But Lex,
But Lex would have loved some.
that would have been great actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
To see the struggle that he went through to like do everything to get to where he was.
Right, like they tell us why he doesn't like Superman, but
Yeah.
like I would have loved to have seen it.
that's true.
you know?
Good point,
Yeah.
man. Good point.
So But overall, he was awesome.
Yeah. And two surprises for me, which I did not expect with the supporting cast, was Jimmy Olsen and Mr. Terrific.
Yes.
They were
phenomenal.
dude.
I love
Like,
Mr.
yes.
Terrific.
So,
Loved
yeah,
him.
Mr. Terrific, he might have had the best action sequence in the entire movie.
Oh yeah, I was
Honestly.
wanting to talk
Talking
about
about the
too.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah,
for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
It was the
It's-
most Guardian scene in the movie. For sure.
It's so genius though the way James Gunn does that
Yeah.
because he's like now you get
Music
to
and-
you're brought along. You're
Oh,
like in her
music.
position now. You're watching this and you kind of see like, oh, this guy is something.
The real deal.
Yeah,
right?
he's like because some of these guys, these side characters, you're like, okay, just I'm ready for their screen time to pass so I can get on to the next. I want to
Yeah.
see them. But anytime he was on screen, I was locked.
And his
in.
dryness was just like
Yes.
phenomenal. Like like
Perfect.
the way that he talked and everything like
Yeah.
that. And I did like one thing I did enjoy about that scene specifically is that him putting a bubble around Lois made it to where no one had to save her.
Oh, yeah.
So like
for sure.
so like you didn't have to have the she's around and she needs to be saved moment or and like anyone who'd be or in the other direction would be her all of a sudden womping on people. Which could have been something that they went in the direction of.
Yeah.
She could have just been helping out and you're like these people are supposed to be like, enhanced individuals. They're not like enhanced to the point of like Ultraman or anything like that, but they are like significantly strength enhanced.
Mhm.
By the way, I was looking through some of the cast, and so apparently one of the Raptors, he was named Raptor 1, was played by Michael Rosenbaum.
What? I did not catch that
Lex
at all.
Luthor.
Yeah.
Yes,
I did not catch that
as
at
the
all.
cast was
Smallville.
going by,
No way.
yes, who played Lex Luthor on Smallville.
Interesting.
So cool.
So that was super cool.
I wish I would have caught that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I believe he's pretty good friends with James Gunn in general. So I think that kind of like it matches up. And it was one cool thing about it was just like seeing the randos that he threw in there from his like the people that he's gathered
Yeah.
through his directing career with Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Love it.
You know,
His brother.
being in there. Yes, his
Yeah.
brother being in there, which is just
We'll
a
see more of
staple.
him.
Of
Yep.
course he was. Yeah.
And then on top of that, even Mantis was the voice of one of the robots,
Yes.
the Superman robots. So
Correct.
that was cool too.
Oh. And our boy John Cena.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Did not,
that was
I did
so
not see
cool.
that coming. That was
so
awesome.
great.
So funny,
Such a
man.
good cameo.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
phenomenal, and he's just ragging on him.
Such like
Of
a
course he is.
that felt again. Not going to try to make every comparison to Marvel, but that felt like a classic like Marvel like
Yes.
cameo.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
it
They
did.
set up with the guy that's doing the interview for a couple seconds before you see
Yep.
Peacemaker there. It just hits so well.
It was good. And like speaking of cameos, at dinner on our side of the table, we were talking about. I threw out like who we gonna see,
Yeah.
And I mentioned to Jr. and the guys on our side, I was like, honestly, I really think we're gonna get Supergirl.
Yeah.
And
He did call that.
And
He called it.
because it was in production, and I feel like it was so easy just to do.
Yeah.
And it was like low hanging fruit. And I was like, so we're gonna get Supergirl. And then Jr. You're witness to this.
You called it.
You're witness to this. I said, I think Ultraman's not really Ultraman. I think Ultraman is Bizarro.
He did.
And
yeah.
I was kind of right because they didn't really say Bizarro, but he was a clone of Superman.
Oh, yeah, he's
So-
Yes,
Bizarro
yeah,
straight up.
he's
Yeah.
not like a
Yeah.
true Ultraman. He is more of a Bizarro.
What's
Yeah,
the name?
situation.
Bizarro.
Yeah, it's like Lex tried to clone Superman and he failed miserably as far as like looks wise, and he's like all distorted, but he wasn't distorted in this movie.
Yeah.
But the name's awesome. That's a cool name. Bizarro. That's a
Yeah.
cool name.
It is a great
Yeah.
name. It is, but
That's
they
a
didn't.
cool
They didn't use it. They didn't use it.
Yeah,
what the heck?
because Ultraman is an alternate universe version of Superman who's
Yeah.
like essentially evil. He's head of a group called the Crime Syndicate,
Yeah.
which is essentially like a group of like essentially villains who are based off of who are basically the inverse of all of our big
Justice League
six
character.
Justice League. Yes,
So it's
Yeah.
like the darkest timeline. Of,
I know. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, but them incorporating that he's dumb as rocks and they had
Yes.
to
Yeah.
control him.
Yes.
That led me to believe that it was Bizarro, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
Yeah.
that's how Bizarro. He's like not mentally there, but he is physically imposing, that kind of thing.
You know what I found like an unintentionally hilarious moment when they're in the Pentagon and after Lex does his speech, he just has Ultraman turning on the lights.
I know,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ah,
So funny.
like,
Our theater cracked up with that part.
Loved
too,
it.
though.
Like I just like
holding the donut.
the strongest man alive
Yeah.
is literally just your dude who's turning on the lights.
Yep.
It shows his disdain for him too a little bit because he's like, look how I'm mastering over the, because That's kind of part of his
Even
thing.
the way he turned the lights on, he didn't just flip it. He
Yeah.
like turned it and like emphasized like
Yeah,
you
he
know.
made sure he did it right with the right
Yes,
way, that kind
yes.
of thing. Yeah.
So that was
But yeah,
perfect.
so there was some good side characters.
Yes.
We're still on.
Yeah.
That was a long good segment for as far as like supporting characters that I brought up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
those
mean,
are
that's
just-
that was phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
even like the whole Justice Gang was great. Through the whole thing.
Hawkgirl didn't get enough love though. I feel like
she
had
didn't get in a whole lot of
minimal.
time.
Yeah.
I didn't. She was good when she was there.
Correct, yeah.
Like
Which
she.
I think we'll get a lot more of her in Peacemaker season 2.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Because I really like Hawkgirl. Like as a character, like she is phenomenal. She's one of my favorite female
Yeah.
DC superheroes for sure. Probably up there, even like just overall.
Yeah.
She's just a super interesting character, and her whole like situation with Jon Stewart's really really interesting, and her her in some storylines her son Hawkman, so that's always an interesting like line that they do with in DC.
Mm.
So 2 other like side characters, very minimal roles, but it was like we get Frank Grillo.
That's
That was
true.
cool.
Yeah.
Now is
Yeah.
he an important character? Flag.
Yeah. Rick Flag.
Rick Flag.
This is Rick Flag Senior.
Yeah, because
So-
Rick Flag's his son, right? 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you remember Peacemaker kills Rick Flag
In
Junior
the
in
Suicide Squad.
Suicide
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Suicide Squad?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So that's his father.
Yeah, and he also voiced the same character in Creature Commandos, which was the start of the DCU. So he just transitioned from cartoon to live action.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
love it. Yeah,
And also like Wendell Pierce is in this.
I know,
He's
right?
Smoking a cigar, of course.
It has to,
Like,
yeah.
He has to smoke a cigar.
Perry
whenever
White.
he's in-
which-
Perry White, yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Who's definitely up there in like the upper echelon of like news reporter editors.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
very high up. He's very much like the J. Jonah Jameson of the DC
Yes.
universe.
That's
Which
true.
all of the Daily Planet big people, like the Big Five or whatever,
Yeah.
they had time to shine for a little bit.
Yes.
Like even like the sportscaster guy, the
Beck
Steve.
Fedek,
oh my
he was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Yep.
That was great. Even seeing Eve I enjoyed Eve a lot.
Yeah, which
As-
I am disappointed we didn't get a Miss Tessmacher. Like Lex is known for just
yes,
shouting
like just
that out.
you're
Like,
just yelling at
But
her.
we didn't get
like,
that. We didn't get that.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah.
She did good though.
Yeah, I think she did good. I think it would have been interesting. I think it would have been an interesting take and twist on her character if she had ended up being like a genius. Like at the end, like
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
like-
technically she was. She took selfies in front of key information.
Yes,
Like that's
like,
pretty
yeah.
genius to me.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know about
like
you.
I think they do leave it up in the air how much like that was purposeful though.
Right.
I think it would have been interesting if we'd seen like at some point like them be a little bit more direct about like yes she did this on purpose the whole
Yeah,
time.
like she intentionally like
She-
takes one photo, it's not good, and she like looking at something behind her and takes another one. or
yeah,
something like that.
like
That would have been interesting to see that.
yeah, like so it would have been like
Hmm.
not her character because she is just like
Yeah.
aloof.
empty-headed, like in general, like
Yeah,
well as a character.
for sure.
But it would have been an interesting like take because I mean a little bit creative license with her character for her to be, oh she's actually like very much understands what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
All right, other funny moments.
I mean, crypto, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, James Gunn just knows how to make like animals in movies. Like it's
Yeah.
just a relatable, lovable character kind of thing, right? There was one instance where Superman was like on the bed and Crypto was laying on his chest.
Yeah.
And as the camera panned, if I was sitting right next to you, T-Roll, I would have said like it looked like almost like Beanie. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Which is my dog.
Yes, which is T-Roll's dog, which is an amazing creature.
That's right.
But yes, I was like, dude, that looks
I
incredible.
do feel like there didn't need to be CGI the whole time, though. You know, like
True.
I mean, obviously when he's flying around and doing
Yeah.
stuff, it needed to be, but
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Yeah, like him sitting on somebody's chest
Exactly.
probably didn't need to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But CGI in general, I actually thought it was pretty good. I actually
You guys
there's
should know better than me.
Yeah, I think honestly, like
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't say there was like really anything egregious or anything along those lines. There's never a moment really where I was like, oh, like that is not pleasant to the
I
eye.
enjoyed the flying scenes. Like he was like
Yeah.
the close-ups of him like
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through different weather and clouds and stuff like
That
yeah,
was
too.
cool. That I loved
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I like the one where he was flying back to the fortress. Like this, it added to like the panic that was in his mind. I
Yes.
think even like the flight, it was very like
Shaky.
it was shaky. It was kind of sporadic. It was more than because the first time it's a little bit more like controlled when you see it. He's
Right.
much more. Whereas when he goes back, you can tell like he's a little bit more erratic. He's a little bit more stressed at this moment.
Yeah. I also found that the scenes where he was just in the air in general, it looked pretty seamless. It didn't look like it was like forced CGI or
Yeah.
you can tell like harness kind of stuff. Like the one scene that kind of stood out to me was when he saved that car from being crushed and then she drove away and there's like all the dust and the.
Oh my
dude!
gosh.
One of
When he
the
was-
greatest shots in
Dude.
Superman movie history.
I loved it, and I was so thankful that he wasn't in the cross pose.
Oh
Yeah. I love Zack Schneider, and again, I told myself I wasn't going to pick on because now I'm kind of a little pissed about Man of Steel now. Now that I know how good a live action Superman can be.
Yeah.
Zack Schneider, how many times did we see?
Cross pose. Yep.
And it's like we get it, we know he's supposed to be like a Jesus figure,
Right.
but that was you're right. That shot, I got chills in that.
I-
shot. I was like,
oh, I
yeah,
got chills
that's
too.
Superman.
that was a phenomenal shot that they did there, and it was really really
And
well done.
They held on to that shot for
Yes.
the most appropriate amount of time. Like it
Couldn't agree
wasn't
more.
too long. Like it was just like perfectly there, dude. And
Yes.
it was so good.
Yeah, and like going back to kind of what we were saying, like one of the parts about it was I loved how like through the movie, like we know that Superman is supposed to be this character that is like the Boy Scout who tries to do everything right. In this movie, they really stressed him actually doing everything right. Like I think more than like just saying it, it was in all of his actions too. Like even in moments where there'd be fights, like he'd take a beat to tell that lady to calm down. He took the beat to save the squirrel. And
That dude,
That was great.
the fact that he saved the squirrel, that had me,
Yes.
dude. I was like, wait a minute, did he just save a freaking squirrel? With
yeah.
You're darn right.
Like when he stops that building and there's the crack on the glass, and then he goes away, and then they hit he hits him with the fire, and then he checks on the people, and then he specifically like in his mind he's like, okay, I need to take this somewhere else. So that's why he does the eyes up here,
Yeah.
because he's wanting him to shoot the fire up instead of in line with a building.
Yeah.
So like I like the way that he specifically is trying to like avoid the damage
Right.
that would normally just happen in a monster fight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think when JR brought it up earlier, I think that was like spot on. Dude.
Yeah.
The damage control was so cool to see it being focused on. Actually,
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, we've been real positive, but I'm curious, especially you guys.
Mhm.
This was a great movie.
Yeah.
I think it's 88 last time I saw on Rotten Tomatoes, which again for
Yeah.
me that tells a lot in my eyes.
It's good. Yeah.
Anything you guys are critical of? Anything you're like, I didn't really like this.
Okay. Let me go ahead and lead here. I tend
Okay.
to gravitate towards being like the negative one on this podcast, which
Yeah.
is weird. I don't know why. But
It adds up.
yeah. I do think that you mentioned it earlier, T-Roll, that just a little extra time on Lex's motives, I think, would have been extremely beneficial. It's not like a huge like knockdown, but I think just seeing how he got to this psychotic state of envy and
Yeah.
power and I just think we needed a little bit more, because this dude literally has a prison inside a pocket universe. Like, how
Yeah.
did we get here, guys? Like, let's get here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great example.
Yeah, and
Good point.
the pocket universe was kind of also like glazed over a little bit. Like let's. I mean, yes, they kind of explained
You
how
see
Lex
it a few
discovered it.
times before they even describe what it is.
Right,
And I was like,
correct.
where are they?
Yeah, and then the whole like foreign dictator / like political drama. Like, was that necessary? Like, why does Lex want to like become a king and build a utopia? Like, I get he wants to be like show that he can have a prosperous universe with his like technology and kind of stuff, right?
Well,
But
No, he does.
No, no,
He
he
specifically
explains that.
says that that's not why he wanted that at all.
okay,
it was a
It
ruse.
was an act.
It was all. It was because he want.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's like
He just wanted to kill
He
Superman
specifically says
and do it
he
legally.
didn't do
Okay,
that.
good point, good
yes,
point. Okay,
he
yeah.
just wanted to kill Superman.
Yep. All
Okay.
that for that.
But yeah,
Let's-
I do understand
get what
like
you're saying.
kind of what you're getting at with that. I do think it was a little bit glossed over with like the whole thing with. So Mr. Terrific was like, yeah, every time you go in there, there's a chance that that'll happen. The fact of how many times they were going in and out of that pocket universe
Mm.
was a little bit like reckless and I get that he's a little psychotic.
Right.
That's even reckless for like Lex Luthor. If literally every single time you go in and out,
Yeah.
that you could potentially cause a black hole that destroys the universe, like that seems like kind of like, hey, maybe we should only go in here like
couple
when it's
times.
really necessary. Was it
Sparingly.
necessary to meet the leader of Barovia in the Pocket Universe?
Correct.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it had them both go through the Pocket Universe. Like, it was that really
No, one's in the
necessary?
United States, and one's in, I guess, Europe, Russia.
Somewhere.
It's called Zoom. Like, you just
You couldn't get the donuts then. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Ooh, good
oh,
point. yeah.
it's called Uber Eats. Yeah, but whatever. So I do think there was that. There were some like I feel like the Superman. I know everybody's like kind of talking about the Superman Lois relationship.
Mhm.
There were some moments of it I was like, okay, like I get Superman or I get Clark Kent's been like 100% in on this probably since day one.
Oh, for
Like I
sure.
mean, essentially, like he saw her and he was like, "Yep, that's it,
Mhm.
right there. I'm done." But they've only been dating for 3 months, and like they're supposed to be like this big like it's supposed to be like this situation of she goes from not being so sure about him to being like, "I love you," by the end of the movie, and also they kind of put a lot of pressure on her to like in a way to say that by the end of the movie, and I feel like that's a little like unnecessary pressure
Well,
for
they,
her.
they had her say that she was going to break up with him before all that. Like it was
yeah,
like
yes,
that was a little inconsistent there. Like I was like, okay,
yeah. Oh, there was that, and
add a little tension, add a
yes,
little
sure,
drama.
sure, yeah.
I do like. I think it was a little like. I feel like that was a little old-fashioned romance movie type
Mhm.
situation where they were like, we're just gonna jam there this.
Mm.
What is in real life would be a year-long relationship, longer.
Well, he
into
is
3
Superman.
months.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, and dude, the amount of kissing we got in this movie.
There's some tongue in there for
Dude,
sure.
it's just the long takes. It's like, all right, dude, they're kissing. We get it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, how many camera angles were we
It
going to get?
did
in
make
this
me
one
slightly
shot?
uncomfortable. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Well, I think that actually humanized him a little bit. It,
Yeah, it actually like kind of like in one way
Interesting.
kind of takes him
Mhm.
out of
Yeah.
his role as like this pure like country
Scout,
boy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And in a lot of
Yeah.
ways when you think about because he's having these like intense
Mm.
like kissing scenes
Right.
at like where it's like one of the few moments where you really get to see him not be this perfect.
He gives into his
being.
own like
Yes.
indulgences, like that kind of thing.
It is true. So like I'll agree with you on that front.
Well,
There is
even
that.
even his rebuttal to Lex's monologue, where he was like, "I'm more human than
Right.
than everyone in this room or whatever," right? Like, because he is explaining, he's going through like why he is the way he is, and the parents that raised him, and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, it kind of like adds to that. So, like, I mean, I feel like he's more humanized, I think, towards the end of this movie than any rendition of any Superman I think we've ever seen
Yeah.
on screen, and I think that's like the kissing scenes. I can kind of lend it to that, to be honest.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe.
With you.
yeah.
Let's see. What else? What else? Anything else you're critical of?
I got something.
Okay, let's
Ooh,
hear
let's
it.
do
Let's
it.
hear it,
Okay.
JR.
This is honestly when you guys were talking because I was even after the movie trying to think of something, and this is gonna sound so shallow and surface level, but hear me out. So, the casting of Pa and Martha Kent, I thought at first I was like, I like where he's going with it. I see what he's doing, but that emotional scene between him and Clark, between
Pa.
Jonathan Kent and Clark was the eye movement do you do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the back and forth. Like
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? It took me out of it, and that's such a small, like, okay, big deal.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I was just like, what is that? Like,
Yeah, there was when he did the like cry stutter.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like
Yeah.
for me. I was like,
forced a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, it didn't feel
yeah,
like I think if the conversation might have been a little bit longer,
Mhm.
that might have made a little bit more sense. But it was like I don't know. It was a
Yeah.
little. It did feel like a little out of place. So I'll agree with that.
They probably cut some of it too, I would imagine. Like when you're
Probably.
in
That's
the
a
editing
good point,
room, they're
actually,
like, there might have been more to it. But I would have thought too, because I gotta guess. I don't know his age. He's probably Superman's in his late 20s, early 30s. Different renditions have him becoming
He's
Superman.
33.
33. If you get an actor who's say 45, 50 years old, because I hate in movies whenever they don't DH them, and then you just put a toupee or like zoom out a little bit, because I could tell.
Pause 65.
Okay. Yeah, which the age isn't a problem, but it's just like that one scene in any movie, whenever it's the same actor and it's supposed to be 30 years before, it takes me out of it. Just-
Yeah, no,
and that's a small
the
critique.
flashbacks to Pa were
Yeah.
a little bit unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
you
like
could-
the same age.
yeah, the brown toupee took me
Yeah.
out of it, too.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
It is a hard thing to do. Like
Yeah,
it's
it is.
like it's like what do you kind of got to make your choice. It's
do.
like do we want him to look right now or do you want him to look right when he's just in the past or like
I think if you get a guy who's like 45 or 50, hear me out, because then you age him for the
give him
Paul
some
Kent-
you give
yeah.
him some salt, pepper,
Right,
you
and
know?
then in the earlier scenes, put a little extra makeup on him. It's fine. You know?
I will say though, in like the end of the movie where they're showing him footage of his past and the final like scene of Paul Kent, you don't see his face, but you see his hands holding up and he's in the Superman pose
that was
as
cool.
a kid.
Love that.
So
Yeah,
good,
that
man.
was great.
Chills.
Yeah.
Absolute
Me too.
chills.
Yeah.
For sure.
What did you guys think of his I don't want to call it costume, but his whatever it is, just the
I think
Superman
costume's
fit.
appropriate. I think
Costume, okay,
sure.
Yeah.
Classic look.
I did not think I was gonna like the the trunks over the
Yeah.
blue, but I actually enjoyed them. I actually it didn't feel out of place. Like
No.
I don't know. I do wish it would have fit a little bit. There were some scenes where like he would move and it looked like it was a little too big for him.
Mm.
I would have liked seeing it a little bit more tighter.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe he should add some protein.
Move over,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, uh-oh. Ooh, baby, let's go. I think, no, Cavill always has a special place in my heart. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think it could have fit better a little bit.
I mean, I almost went like, it's a little outdated, but it's kind of like when Captain America in the first couple times you see him, he's in the classic fit.
Yeah.
But I have a
Right.
feeling James Gunn is like gonna get some cooler looking.
Yeah.
Oh,
which
definitely.
There are. Even if you're watching this is heavily based on the All-Star run.
Yeah, for sure.
His uniform / costume, it does age very well.
Yeah.
So
The S is the same, right? If I'm not mistaken, or
believe-
pretty
I-
close
it's-
to
yeah,
the
it's-
All-Star
yeah.
Superman. Yeah,
yeah,
which I love.
very good.
All right.
Very good.
Let's talk about this pocket universe a little bit.
All right.
Okay. So
we meet Metamorpho down there.
Yes,
actually,
we do.
which was-
Played by phenomenal Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
I love him. If you guys have never seen the show Barry,
Oh yeah.
him
he's
as
good, Barry.
character NoHo Hank is phenomenal. Like NoHo Hank is like one of the greatest like sort of anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Like he's hilarious.
I thought you just liked him because his name was Anthony. I thought that was the only reason. But
clever for Lex to use him to get the kryptonite.
yes, which he alluded to earlier. He's like, because one of the
Said he got it
government
fixed.
officials says that
Yeah,
like,
it's Gorilla.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Grilly's like kryptonite's almost like gone or whatever.
He's
And
like, yeah, there's
I gotta,
none
I gotta
on
work
the
around.
earth.
I gotta
Yeah,
work
work
around.
around,
for
that's
that.
what he
Yeah,
said.
That's what he says.
So Superman turns himself in. Classic, just like he's the hero. He's gonna do what's right.
Yep.
They go in this pocket universe. They're getting escorted down to the cell by the Greendale human being, essentially.
It looks exactly like that.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like freaky, whatever that thing
I think
was.
that's supposed to be a white Martian, to be honest with you. It
Really?
looked I mean, if you
It was
look,
creepy.
if you think
Could
about
be.
Greendale human being, bro. Like,
it was a Greendale.
I mean, he literally does say while he's on that platform, like he's like, I'm not tall, dark, and Martian is not my.
oh, he did say
yeah,
Martian.
he-
he did
yes.
drop that. Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Now-
did.
So yeah, he might be a white Martian then.
Might be White Martian. I was taking that
Hmm.
initially as a Martian Manhunter, like
Well-
potentially like pull right there maybe. Of course, there's also the classic like that's just where aliens are from,
Right, yeah.
Generally,
I fully
like,
expected more individuals of like meaning in these.
That's
sets.
what I'm getting to.
That is what I miss. I
Yeah.
really do wish there was just like one or two.
You literally could have had Martian Manhunter in one of these cells.
Yeah,
you
I
could have
agree.
you could have done that.
I was
Well-
gonna say, were there any that you guys saw that
Dude,
like?
I was about to
no.
say-
I didn't pick up anyone.
Joe Schmoes, ex-girlfriends,
Yeah,
like what?
Yeah,
I legitimately had no idea who like.
Opportunity missed, huh?
Yeah, like-
Well,
such a huge opportunity
I
miss.
feel like with James Gunn, this might be something you catch later, like when it's on. We don't say DVD anymore, but streaming. You pause it. I bet somewhere in the corner or in the periphery, somewhere in that frame, there's somebody. I can almost guarantee it.
I would love to hope so on that one.
Yeah.
but I really feel I was intentionally like eagle eye.
Me too. Me too. I was scanning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like there should have been some iteration.
obvious.
down
Yeah,
there.
like something
Dude,
relatively obvious.
Give me a blue beetle down there, dude. Like, why not?
Oh,
Right? Like,
some- like
Black Beetle?
Somebody we already seen.
something,
Yeah, Black Beetle.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, like just somebody that would have been would have made sense. I don't know. I don't know who really it could be, but like just somebody.
Yeah. No. Trust me. I think it missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck
Yeah, exactly.
Cross
shows up
universe,
again. Yeah.
Okay, here's another. Okay, a couple questions on just the scope of the movie,
Mm,
and the greater context of their world. So it's like they're on Earth. Again, Marvel guy here. We deal in New York City and like actual cities,
right.
right? But in
Real cities. Yeah.
it seems like, tell me if I'm wrong, like not that everything's fake, like there's the
Mm.
United States government, but like it's like made up cities that they're primarily
Correct.
in, right?
Yeah, 99% of the cities.
Which-
well,
Did you guys
Close
catch
to that.
the Gotham City sign at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
You
I
saw-
did.
I missed that.
And they were
yeah,
doing the
when they were doing the
evacuation.
evacuation, there was like a tunnel that was like Gotham City.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no,
correct.
I
It's
missed
just
that.
across the bay or something, right?
This confirms that they are like twin cities because in the comics it's all over the place. There's no consistency
Yeah,
in any rendition.
They
of the
move
comics.
around.
But the most popular one is that they're twin cities and
Yeah,
they see
cool.
each other.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, but there's also like the weird thing is they will throw in a real city every once in a while.
Yeah, Chicago or
Chicago,
along
like,
those lines. Yeah.
I hate when they do that. Just
Yeah,
commit.
Right.
commit
There's
to
a
all or nothing.
character who was like in this movie. I forgot who it was, but it's literally from like Baltimore.
Correct.
It's
yeah.
like it's like so there's real cities, but there's also like most of this. Yeah, like there's places like Queen City, and then there's like all there's all the other different cities as well. Like they're random cities.
Okay, so back to the context of the world they're in. Like
Yes.
I thought it was so fascinating. Again, we are in the middle of clearly there's metahumans everywhere,
correct.
right? And so it's like the big monster dragon thing is destroying part of the city, and people are like eating their yogurt,
Right.
not concerned at all. Even later at this big emotional moment that Superman's having with Lois at his apartment or her apartment.
Right. Love that
There's this
scene.
battle in the background with the Justice Gang.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true.
And it's like no big deal.
Yeah.
So like,
Which I think
help me,
I think
help me understand this, guys.
Yeah.
What the heck's going on here?
I think part of okay, so one thing I think you do find interesting about that is that like it's at this moment of extreme like he's lost himself in a lot of ways because everything we've seen up to this moment is he cares about everyone. Well, he would be out there fighting that being if that was still like his core driving moment. But at this time he's
His dog was still kidnapped at this
yes,
moment.
yes. Like but just saying like he was obviously off his center at this moment.
Yeah, for sure.
In the movie. So I think it was a very
get
like
it.
interesting it was a comical, but it was also like when you really think about it, he's off at this moment.
Well, he also drops one of the most intriguing and maybe best line that he says where she's saying that she was like punk rock, that kind of thing, right? And then he says like he says he was kind of punk rock. She like laughs at him or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, maybe that was
Punk
punk
rock.
rock.
Yeah, I
Because
like
and
that
if you think
line,
about it,
yeah.
when you break down punk rock, it's like the not the norm, right? Like
Yes.
where she was describing everything she was describing was quote unquote
Yes.
normal for a teenager or a young kid, right? But what he was doing was not normal. So like he truly was
He was punk
rock. And
yeah, like it is kind of based off this idea of like him being this Boy Scout perfect person is the counterculture,
Right.
you know,
Correct.
in
No,
like
yeah.
in society.
For sure.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so again, we're in a world where this stuff is just. I think this is why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the movie, and I
Right.
fully believe in James Gunn. But again, like if I may, just for a moment, just the sheer difference between Marvel and DC, it just feels like Marvel's just way more grounded.
no, I mean,
Like,
yeah, that's
It
that.
literally
I mean,
is, right? Everyone can be as strong as or as powerful as any of these metahumans. It feels like.
I
You know, like
mean, giving certain circumstances, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like there's so many overpowered people in even in the bad DCEU. Like, you know, I felt bad for Batman, dude, because he's just like everyone. And Batman in like Justice League, you know, he's like Hawkeye essentially.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
You're right, actually.
Like
Yeah.
so there's this like
true.
saying that a lot of people will say is that Marvel is humans who want to be gods and DC is gods who want to be humans.
yeah, that's
Like-
cool. I like that.
So like it kind of lends into that idea because they're all kind of starting at this point of like extreme power. Like everyone
Yes.
has like a large amount of power built into them.
And it's grounding them down. That's what it is.
Yes.
Like the storylines are bringing these beings of like on a pedestal down to our level,
Right.
and
Yes.
which we all kind of relate more to the knocking down of pegs, right?
Yeah.
Like whereas Marvel, they're like lifting up their heroes, right, and putting them on that pedestal. Which I mean, how many times? I mean, yeah, sure, I give T-Roll a compliment here and there, right? But like, you don't feel like you're on top of the mountain, right? You you tend to feel like me as a human in general, like I feel like I'm knocked down a few pegs, majority of life, right? Like that's relatable.
Maybe.
That's real. Like that's something a part of life. Like that's I don't know.
So you're saying Superman's more relatable than like
Captain America? Yeah, I'd say though. I say so because this rendition, this DCU version of
agree.
Superman.
I agree with
yes,
this
1,000%.
I do agree with that.
Because Captain America, he seems so unobtainable right now because he's perfect in every single way now because he's now ascended from this wimpy little kid to this like heroic being who makes all the right
I
decisions.
think I'm thinking of it purely physical right now,
Ah,
and I
physical.
can't
Oh,
get
okay.
past the
Gotcha.
physical. Everything you're
Gotcha,
saying
gotcha.
isn't connecting my mind because it's like.
Well, when you think of physicality, yeah, I mean,
Well, that's what I'm
Superman's
getting at.
untouchable.
That's
He's
what I'm
untouchable.
getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you know, nobody can catch the Flash. You know, Cyborg
right.
can hack or do whatever. All these things. Like, Wonder Woman's just as strong as Superman. I think. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe,
But,
yeah.
Well,
but it's
and
like that's what I'm getting at. Where it's like, I think what
But-
Shimano. Hold on.
yeah.
What Shimano said, I agree with. It's like gods who want to be human.
Mhm.
Like that clicks because
Yeah.
like it feels like the heroes and the people in that we're gonna see in
Right.
this universe are so much more powerful physically
True.
than the majority
Yeah.
of the people in Marvel.
But
you
here's the
know?
thing, right? Superman, majority of his life is going to be as like Clark Kent, trying to blend in,
Yep.
but you're never going to fit because you are this being of like godly ability, right? Like so, his struggle is always going to be I think the most relatable from here on out because he's trying to fit in with the rest of
Yeah.
the world that he protects and saves. Like
It's trying to fit into a world that
Mhm.
doesn't like accept you in a lot of ways.
yeah,
right.
Like it's trying to fit into a world
Which we
where
saw a lot of
you
that.
are so much like you're so different than the rest
Mhm.
of the world, but you just want all you want to be. You're that person that like you just want to be a normal person.
And
in a lot of ways.
he'll never be that. It's chasing that moment of being able to make out with your girlfriend. Like it's chasing that moment, which they had to go into this abandoned, like evacuated building in order to
Right.
have a moment with each other because you will literally never have that if you are.
Yeah, but I don't see how that's. I think we're just. That's not relatable. Like I don't think he's relatable in any way. But you're saying
well,
like
the desire to belong. Like
Yeah,
how is that?
That's
How
that's
is that
the
not
relatable nature.
relatable? That's
no. Again, I think you're just missing one. Maybe I'm just too tired. And I'm not communicating well. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Like he has one weakness, and it's some green rock in the
Correct, yeah.
space. You know, it's just
Right.
it's too much for me.
yeah.
Like I think, but I mean, I believe in James Gunn, and I'm excited.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's like because they're starting at such the overpowered, like even Captain America, he starts as the wimpy kid.
Correct. Yes.
And I think that that's way more relatable. Like he had a pure heart. Well, not pure heart, but like
good character.
The best heart.
Yeah.
It's like starts from the less of it, right?
If you think about it, it's unearned now. If you think about it, he just got a serum and boom, here he is.
Yep.
Unearned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Sure.
If he
But
if he played baseball, they wouldn't let him in the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, he juiced.
He did juice.
He juiced.
but he didn't play baseball.
Yeah. Okay. There's two things that I want to touch on real quick. Like this, I think we should close out here. Okay.
All right.
Number one is Supergirl.
All right.
We see her. She comes in drunk, and it's her dog. It's phenomenal. There actually is a 100% out of the comic book frame. She's wearing a trench coat. She's bouncing around, partying in universes, and that's like straight out of the comic books. Really cool to see. I'm excited to see where her movie goes because that'll be absolutely incredible. What are you guys' Supergirl thoughts, real quick?
I don't think I have any thoughts on Supergirl.
No thoughts.
I mean, I think she's an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
She lots of times gets under she's kind of just seen as like a Superman like secondary. Like when you can't have Superman, you have you have Supergirl. Like
Right.
I think that's kind of how she's perceived, at least. But I think she has like an interesting idea of like she has more of the like Kryptonian upbringing because when she came, she was older.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how she plays out there. I mean, she has her own struggles growing up, coming to, Earth, living in somebody's shadow essentially at one point where she's, now she's having to look up to Clark without, really it's an interesting take on the super world as well. I think she could be pretty interesting if done correctly.
Yeah. What about you, JR? Supergirl thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be our intro into like some of these other kind of worlds and stuff we're going to see. I think I wouldn't be surprised if in the Supergirl movie they give her another, kind of how we had some side characters. They're going to give her a good, like maybe be Superman for a little bit. Because I think that some of these movies have proven because she is in my mind a side character. I don't see that's how I've always seen her. Me personally, Wonder Woman's not a side character. Wonder Woman, Batman's not a side. She to me is kind of a side character.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter is a side character to me. I think that they'll probably team her up with somebody that's a heavy hitter in the DC.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be interested to see who that is.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I don't think it's going to be. I think Superman will be present, but not much because you're not trying to steal all the. She still needs to shine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be interested to see who that. It might be a Green Lantern. Somebody who's going to traverse the universe with her.
Cosmic, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cosmic. Oh, I like that. Yeah. We'll see where that ends up. But I do see it taking place off-world. And
For sure.
This may be an origin story that we actually want to see. Like as far as like we get her past on how she lived life on Krypton and then like they sent her to go watch over Clark. That's a story I want to see rather than like the baby swaddle, like all that kind of stuff again. So I'm interested to see that. But
For sure.
main question here. We had a little bit of dialogue last night as far as everyone went in the movies with us. The world that they built in this Superman movie. Can we realistically see Batman fitting into this universe that they've established with Superman's like holly jolly, like centric? Like, can a brooding Batman exist in the same room as this is Superman?
I mean, okay, so I think there's one thing we have to remember is that he doesn't have to be as brooding as the version that was Ben Affleck,
Well, let me throw
or
this real
even
quick.
going back to Dark Knight.
So, to set your standard here, did you watch Creature Commandos?
I did not.
Okay, well, at the end of the movie, they do show at the end of Creature Commandos, they do show a small brief clip of Batman, and he's 100% brooding.
Okay.
100% brooding. Like, dark, really dark, and what we saw with Frank Grillo's character in Rick Flag Sr., he transitioned, like, scene for scene, voice for voice, right? Like, he's the same character.
Yeah.
So if that Batman that we saw a glimpse of in Creature Commando is the same Batman that's going to interact with Superman, is it gonna be an easy transition, that kind of thing, or is it gonna look and feel natural?
Yeah. I mean, I believe James Gunn could do it if that's where they end up going with it. I mean, honestly, if they were to play it as like a legitimate like buddy cop and just like let them each be their own versions. I think that's one of the biggest things is like they kept on wanting to like they couldn't decide in the DCEU if they wanted to pull Batman towards Superman or if they wanted to pull Superman towards Batman. Like in this they kept on moving back and forth about like tone wise. So they they weren't even like, oh, it's all gonna be brooding or this is all gonna be hope driven. They kind of were moving back and forth like from scene to scene almost. It seemed like sometimes whose side was going to be where we're going with both of these characters.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, all of a sudden like Superman's brooding in this scene and then over this scene over here Batman's saying something that's positive. So I think as long as they stick in their own lanes, they can, and they are their own characters, it can work. And like I said, it can be almost like a buddy cop. Honestly, like Mr. Terrific is sort of a template of what Batman could sort of be in this universe.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like from Justice League Doom, like could you not see like that Mr. Terrific like putting nanobots into the people who like his contingency plan is essentially from Doom.
That's true.
Like that. Honestly, he seemed a lot like a version potentially of like a Batman. So like, and it worked in this movie.
It did work.
It was one of the best parts of this movie.
Correct.
So like, I think it could work in the lane. And of course, he didn't really get a whole lot of interaction with Superman, but it could work as long as I think they just need to pick their lane.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to be the drive
Nice.
of this?
Good.
All right.
I do want to throw out like one last thing about the end credit. We did not.
Oh yeah,
like,
sure.
Okay, so the end credit. So I think in a lot of ways, like we're kind of throwing it as this is just a throwaway scene of like one of the few times we actually do get to see Mr. Terrific and Superman interact, and it's the building coming together. And I'm just wondering if this is like a foreshadowing of the universe is not quite matching up. Like honestly, because earlier in the movie, he specifically drops the line that if you're off by a picometer, when you do this stuff, then it can. He's talking about like all the crazy stuff that can happen, and literally they're talking about like it just being just barely off these two buildings when they came back together. So like, are they kind of like is there a possibility that they're kind of hinting that this is the beginning of a potential multiversal something
worlds
going
colliding,
along?
yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
Or like openings of like people can come in and out of a universe.
Yeah, no, that's good because we're also just based off of the Peacemaker trailer. There is some sort of dimensional / like universal traveling going on there. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, we'll see if that ends up being anything in the future.
I mean, it could be nothing.
Yeah.
It could have just been literally just a throwaway line, and
it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was. But I think it's one of those. I think it's something we could look back on, and
James Gunn flexing,
and it could be like one of the end credits that we would see in the MCU, where something might be happening. Almost reminds me of like the Atom reveal in the Adam Warlock in where Guardians 3 or before Guardians is when they have like Howard the Duck in the foreground. Doing something, you're like, oh, Howard the Duck.
The
But
egg
in the
in the
background, you're seeing you have the egg.
Interesting.
So something along the lines.
I like that theory. It's cool because that gives me more hope. Because one of the things I also was critical of was like, man, no like meaningful post credit. You know,
what are we building on?
Yeah, that's right. Like that was I really felt that way. You know, like I want to see like Batman watching the news or something.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wanting that.
I
You know, it's
miss
good.
George Clooney again. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, no.
So, can I ask a question about the Batman thing?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, again, I'm going to show my ignorance here, so don't judge me. I'm just a casual fan trying to understand. Back to what I was critical of a bit, like Superman is not relatable. I'm going to die on that hill. Not even close. So you're an idiot, Justin, but that's okay. But he's incredibly OP.
Yes.
outside of Kryptonite, is there the comics, the animated series? Is there something that levels the playing field between someone like Superman and someone like Batman, who's just a regular dude?
I mean, the closest thing is his suit. Other than that, and it's not the greatest. It's more of a like he can survive a few punches type of thing.
Here's the thing. Lex Luthor, he said he has a workaround with Kryptonite. I promise you, Batman knew about Kryptonite beforehand, and he stashed it.
Yeah,
That's the
I bet you has a
that's the only-
stockpile.
That's the only way.
100%.
Yeah.
So we're very confident on that.
I would be willing to bet a lot of
I wouldn't
whiskey
be.
on that.
I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why there isn't any on Earth is because
Bruce
he
Wayne
has it.
all. Yeah.
I
cool.
absolutely want to see a Batman versus Lex Luthor scene, and I'm not even talking
Ooh,
in
see, even
suits.
that.
Yeah.
I want to see Bruce Wayne versus
Yeah.
Lex Luthor. Like,
Give
me
Battle
that.
of the Minds.
yeah, that, but also maybe a physicality. I don't know if you can fit that into somewhere. Like,
Mm.
gosh, I'd love to see that.
That'd be
I mean,
cool.
it would be interesting because I mean, there are definitely like runs where, of course, Lex Luthor has his suit,
Right,
and you know,
right.
like and you know, Batman has his suits.
Yeah.
Where you know they could just kind of go at it. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Again, I feel like our listeners who are regulars, who are actually DC fans, probably hate me.
Always.
Like Jermaine, if you're listening, I know you're so frustrated with me right now because, like, again, it's just like my entire experience with Batman is The Dark Knight. It's the Batman movie that came out.
Mhm.
You know, it's not, to me, it's like he's amazing. He's like the best. He's
Yeah.
the most awesome superhero character I think in the world. Period.
Yeah.
But he's so grounded, and that's why I love him.
Yeah.
So that when I see a movie like this, I'm like, how?
Where does he fit? Where does he
Yes,
fit? Yeah.
yes, and
It's
it's
true.
maybe okay. So maybe we need to introduce T-Roll to, like I previously stated, Justice League Doom,
Mm.
and just see like his
Animated universe.
like
yeah.
Dude, such a
animated
good movie.
universe, the way he
His capabilities that he
his
demonstrates.
capabilities, his abilities. Because in it, he has contingency plans for everyone in the Justice League.
Everybody.
Yes.
So cool. When
So,
yeah.
yeah.
World's greatest detective, but world's greatest mastermind too.
Yes,
It comes across as
He's so
amazing.
smart.
it's great.
We'll do that.
All right, any other thoughts? We got to close shop.
Let's rate it out. How about this? Let's rate it out. Let's give it a score out of 10.
Oh, okay. You go first.
You want me? Oh, me go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. The best movie of the year that I saw this year so far was Sinners, and I gave that a 9.8. That was a fantastic movie. This is not that. This is not a 9.8. I saw two movies this week, right? Superman and another movie, and one of them I gave a 9.5.
But it was the other movie.
It was the other movie.
What was that?
K-pop Demon Hunters was absolutely phenomenal movie. You think I'm kidding? But this is the third best movie I've seen this year,
Yeah.
and it is a 8.9 for me.
Yeah.
What about you, Shimano?
I'll go a little lower. I think mainly just because I feel like I think it's more of a scaling issue for me, like how I would score something. I'd probably say like between an 8 and 8.5.
Okay.
So like still very, very good, but like I don't really get down to like the hundreds in my mind when it comes to rating a movie.
Okay. Cool. T-roll.
8, 6.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah. How's that? You like
I
that?
do like that. JR.
Oh man.
No pressure.
Immediately in my head I was like 10, but I gotta be realistic. But gosh, I've been waiting for this movie forever, man. I'm 36 years old, and I went through Superman Returns,
Yep,
Bryan Singer and Brandon Routh. He had some great moments in it, but fell flat to me. Then Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's universe came along. I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go 9.8.
Woo.
I still can't stop thinking about this
Holy
movie.
Yeah.
smokes,
I think-
9-8.
Dude, it's a good movie. It's a good
He
movie. Yeah.
killed it. Like the amount of times I got goosebumps during this movie. I am a big DC guy. Obviously, we talked about this.
Mhm.
Batman and Superman always been my favorite. Superman, my top. So to see Superman, like I just knew, like the first when he started talking, when he was like, I was like, that's Superman.
His mannerisms.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
The interview scene alone, like when he's like
Dude,
all
yeah.
slouchy as Clark, and then she's like, "Okay, let's interview," and then he's like straightens his posture, and his voice gets like all like it's just the transition. It
yeah.
was beautiful.
Yeah, I loved it.
I also loved when they had the at his apartment, And when she called him Clark instead of Superman in that moment was just, I don't know, for some reason I just like that. I think that was her rallying him like to back to reality.
Yeah.
Like as a human being.
Okay. Great.
It's good. All right. 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
Superman. They are coming in strong. Hey,
Yeah.
dude.
Loved it.
I love it,
loved
dude. You know what's cool about it is like you're such a big fan and you're rewarded with that, you know? Because I think it was. Is this the best Superman we've ever seen? Live action?
I think so.
I have
think
to
so.
say, I
Very
have to say
close.
so.
Yeah.
At the very least, very close.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. JR, it's great to have you on the pod, man. Thanks for
So glad to be here.
Thanks
It was
for
awesome.
being here. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna wrap it up. Good movie, great movie. James Gunn, we trust.
There you go.
I know I'm the skeptical guy, but again, I think because he's running
He's the
running
head
whole
honcho,
show.
dude. Yeah.
that guy, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm excited for it. And yeah, be sure to be tuning back in to the Royal Geek Podcast. We got the Peacemaker show coming out in August.
Do.
So
Yep.
we will be. And that's week to week, right?
Weekly.
They're not doing some stupid 3-episode.
I heard they're dropping 5 a week.
And I heard T-Roll's off the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be covering Peacemaker. Can't wait for that. And yeah. So with all that in mind, for my good friends Sandy, Shamato, and JR, this is T-Roll saying thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.